Hi, my name's Rob Gillum. I'm the owner-operator of Weller Bee Supply, and I'm also the leader of the Black Fork Bee Club. Here recently we've had a few inquiries on what to do to prepare for winter. What do you do to get your hives ready for winter? So, first off, about 2 weeks ago, I started going through my hives to see if they was honey bound. I live in Mansfield, Ohio, so everybody's situation is going to be a little different depending on where you live, the climate in which your winters are. But here in Ohio, we can have either really cold temperatures or like last year, up and down all winter long. So the first thing I want to talk about is, are your hives honey bound? So what I'll do, depending on what type of brood chamber you run, and it don't matter whether you run deeps or you run mediums or whatever you're running, that you're using as your brood chamber. I've got just one deep super here just as an example, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that my bees are leaving space for the queen to lay. If she don't have a place to lay in the fall, they will swarm, and that's one of the biggest reasons why you get late swarms. If you don't capture them, they're lost. They will never make it on their own. So what you want to do is you want to go to your hives, get down to where your brood chamber's at, and what I generally do is my brood is usually concentrated in the center of your hive. So I'm going to concentrate just on the 4 center frames. My outside frames, if they're full of honey and pollen, that's okay. But what I want to do is I'm going to pull a frame. Now I've just got these frames here as examples, but this was out of one of my hives and this was out of the brood chamber. Now as you can see, you have a lot of light color comb here on the outsides of the frame, and that's where honey was stored. This is where your brood used to be. And if you turn the frame around, you can see that it was even heavier on this side. Had a little bit of honey around the outside and mostly brood on the inside. Now when I pulled these about 2 weeks ago, this was solid honey. And yes, it was in my brood chamber. So I removed them, capped them, and extracted the honey from them. Then I can put them back in. Now fortunately, I run anywhere from 20 to 40 hives. It depends on the year I've had or what my circumstances are, but this year I'm running about 20-25 hives. So I have extra comb. Drawed comb to a beekeeper is like gold. As you can see behind me, I have several nuke boxes. I sell nukes. So I have plenty of drawed comb. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that this brood chamber is not full of honey. If you open it up and allow her to lay, continue to lay, then what you'll do is you'll go into your winter months with the youngest bees that you can possibly go into the winter with, and that's what you want. That's the other thing too. If you have a brood chamber that is solid honey, and just picture, if you will, that this is capped honey and this is in the center of your hive, where will the bees cluster at? If temperatures get cold and you have bees trying to cluster, you have just a minimal 1/4 to 3/8 inch gap there for the bees to cluster in. With the open cell, the bees can actually back into the cells and allow more bees to enter into the cluster. So you have more area for your bees. You have an area there that your queen is allowed to continue to lay. As long as you have food on both sides of the brood chamber, they have plenty of stores. So what you want to do is, just like I say, go through your hives, make sure that your center frames are open. If they're not open, you need to cap them, extract the honey, try not to damage the combs any more than you can help, and then that way you can take, and if you don't have extra combs, place them right back into the hive. Now, if you pull these to extract them, you got to make sure you put frames back in your hive or they will build comb from whatever's above them. So you have to make sure that you have comb in your hive. If you pull these to extract them and you've put just a empty or a sheet of foundation in a frame down in here, well, within the day or two that it takes you to get these out or get them extracted, they won't have done a whole lot to these, so you're able to go pull them back out and put your drilled comb back in its place. So that's one of the things that you want to do late in the year, whenever your fall's about to end and you're going into your colder weather. Make sure you have room in your brood chamber in order for the queen to lay and also for the bees to cluster. So that's just part one of what we're doing to prepare for winter. This is something that you want to look at. And now we're going to go on into another video and talk about what if your bees are light? What if you don't have much honey? So then we'll talk about, okay, what can you do? If you have a dry fall, not much nectar coming in, what do you need to do in order to prepare your bees for honey? So I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can contact me through Black Fork Bee Club. We'll try to get the videos on YouTube. We have a few other videos on there. So check us out. Leave a reply. Hopefully it was some help to you. Thanks.